Good morning, students. We are learning second chapter, and now today is the fourth session for the second chapter, and we'll see today about the Olympic symbol, ideals, and objectives and values of Olympism. So this will be the last part of this chapter. Though this chapter is a bit little lengthy, if you go through this once or twice, you'll come to know, everything about Olympics. Okay, so let us start. Olympic symbols, ideals, objectives, and values of Olympism. Olympic symbol or emblem. Olympic symbol or emblem is comprises 5 interlinked rings or circles to represent the sporting friendship of all people. Already we people discussed about this in the very first chapter also. Okay. The rings also symbolize the 5 continent, that is Africa, America, Asia, Australia, and Europe. Each ring is of a different color, that is blue, yellow, black, green, and red. The color of each ring was proposed by de Coubertin himself. However, it is important to emphasize that Pierre de Coubertin never said or wrote that the colors of the rings were linked with different continents. So it is important to understand this, that we cannot say that the colors represent the continents. No, but the 5 rings definitely. So it is merely a misconception to say that each of the colors relates to a certain continent. The Olympic motto is inscribed under the emblem, which consists of 3 Latin words. Citius means faster, Altius means higher, and Fortius means stronger. So just remember, there are these three. The motto consists of 3 Latin words, and the meaning of that Latin words: faster, higher, and stronger. The literal meanings of these words represent the athletic goals: running faster, jumping higher, and throwing farther. Throwing farther. Okay. Olympic ideals. Most important thing in life is not the triumph but the struggle. Okay. Olympic Games are remembered for the Bishop Pennsylvania's famous sermon. The important thing in Olympics is not to win but to take part. The important thing in life is not the triumph but struggle. The essential thing is not to have conquered but to have fought well. This is the Olympic ideal. You people should remember the line, and that is enough for you people. That most important thing in life is not the triumph but the struggle, not the victory but the struggle. Objectives of Olympics. According to Coubertin, following objectives can be achieved through Olympic Games: to pay attention towards physical education, and sports competitions in all the countries of the world, to develop personality, character, citizenship qualities, and health among the youths. Formation of good habits among sports persons so that they could lead a healthy and prosperous life. To develop patriotism and fraternity among sports persons, to develop international fraternity and peace, not to have any discrimination on the basis of caste, race, and religion. Development of values through Olympism. So what values? We'll go through that. There are four major values given in the book. First is friendship, second solidarity, third fair play, and fourth is free from discrimination. If we glance at the various objectives of modern Olympic Games formulated by de Coubertin, we immediately come to know that the Coubertin wanted to develop these values through Olympism. So he put his strenuous efforts to start the Olympic Games. In fact, the following values can be developed through Olympism. First is friendship. The Olympism provides many opportunities to develop friendship not only among the participants but among the nations too. When Olympic Games are held, the participants get close to one another, they become friends. The nations that have tense relations also come closer. China is one of the examples. Due to ping pong diplomacy, it started to participate in Olympic Games after a long gap. So, Olympism provides ample opportunities to develop friendship. Solidarity. The Olympism also provides ample opportunities to enhance solidarity. It gives a feeling of brotherhood and unity among various nations. It creates cohesion among the participants as nations, because the participants, they represent their nations, and behavior of participants, okay, matters a lot for the relationships between these countries. Fair play. Up to some extent, it can be said that Olympic Games enhance the chances of fair play. Fair play is based on justice. There should be justice for each player as well as the team. There should not be any favor or inclination towards a team. Rules and regulations must be applied fairly to each team. But in fact, there is a big gap between words and actions of the officials. Nowadays, every team wants to win by hook or by crook. This is the scenario we people also see. Okay. The slogans like stay out for sports and stay out for courts, stay out for sports and stay out for courts, and leave by code or get out have become useless as these are not followed in practice. So there are some principles they have uh, made for the participants so that they can there should be fair play. Next is free from discrimination. In the last objectives of modern Olympic Games, it is said that there will be no discrimination on the basis of caste, race, and religion. So the Olympism lays down enough stress on this aspect. That is why, up to some extent, Olympic Games are free from discrimination. At such event, there is no meaning of caste, race, religion, or community. Anyone can participate. Okay. Though exceptions are always there. Okay, exceptions are always there. There. It happened during 1972 Munich Olympic Games when 11 players of Israel were murdered ruthlessly. And there were a lot of news. If you go through your Google, if you Google, then you'll come to know about this incident. We are not going to discuss much about it, but these are the examples what happened. Okay. uh, Racial difference was seen during 1936 Berlin Olympics when Adolf Hitler refused to honor Jesse Owens, the African American athlete who got 4 gold medals in that Olympic Games. So uh, that example, that these are the past examples, okay, and we have to learn from the past. So that's why examples are given here. About the values such as friendship, solidarity, fair play, and free from discrimination, it can be said that the Olympism plays a significant role in the development of these values. But there is also a negative aspect of Olympic Games, which is also rampant. It seems that the dreams of Baron de Coubertin are not going to be fulfilled. Countries have their own interests. Some of the countries take part in the Olympic Games just to prove that they are on the top and far better than the other countries. These values suffered a setback when some countries of the world boycotted 1980 Moscow Olympics and 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. 1980 boycott by USA, Canada, China, West Germany, Japan, Argentina, Hong Kong, and Argentina. Double I have written here. 1984 boycott by Soviet Union and East Germany. Iran and Libya also they boycotted. There were several reasons, okay, different reasons. Iran and Libya had some different reasons. Soviet Union and East Germany had different reasons. So whatever the reasons, but it happened in 1980 and 1984. Perhaps Baron de Coubertin never imagined such shocking events, but it does not mean that the Olympism has failed in developing the above mentioned values. We must have a positive attitude towards Olympism. Nations must lay stress on the objectives of modern Olympic Games so that these values could be developed through Olympism. International Olympic Committee, that is IOC, in short it's called IOC. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, is the governing body of the modern Olympic Games. It is committed to support and promote participation in sports throughout the world. The International Olympic Committee has its headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland. It was created by Pierre Baron de Coubertin on 23rd June 1894. Greek Demetrios Vikalas was its first president. The photograph is there of Demetrios Vikalas. Its membership consists of 105 active members and 32 honorary members. So membership if we see consists of 105 active members, so huge number, and 32 honorary members. The IOC organizes the modern Olympic Games held in summer and winter every 4 years. This was also discussed about summer and winter Olympics. The first summer Olympic Games by the International Committee were held in Athens, Greece in 1896, whereas the first Winter Olympic Games were held in Chamonix, France in 1924 until 1992. Both Summer and Winter Olympic Games were held in the same year. After that, the IOC changed the Winter Olympic Games to the 11 years between Summer Games to help space the planning of the two events 2 years apart from one another. Since 2010, the IOC has started to organize the Summer and Winter Youth Olympics. The first Summer Youth Olympics were held in Singapore in 2010, whereas the first Winter Youth Olympics were held in Innsbruck in 2012. We'll see about members now. Members of the committee. The IOC consists of members from the various countries, which constitutes president, vice presidents, executive board, and secretary general. The description of the members is mentioned below. President. The president of the IOC is elected by its members. The president is elected for a term of 8 years. Okay, sorry, for the term of 8 years. The president is elected for a term of 8 years. After the expiry of his term, he or she can be re-elected. The current IOC president is Thomas Bach. Vice presidents. In the IOC, 4 vice presidents are elected. These officials are also elected by members of the committee. They are elected for a term of 4 years. President for 8 years and other members for 4 years. They can be reappointed if members of the committee desire so. So they can be reappointed. The executive board. The IOC executive board consists of the president, 4 vice presidents, and 10 other members. So the other members are 10 members. All the members of the IOC executive board are elected by the IOC session. all the members of IOC from various countries in a secret ballot by a majority of vote cast. The IOC Executive Board assumes the general overall responsibility for the administration of the IOC and the management of its affairs. Now we'll see main functions of the IOC. What exactly the IOC does. The IOC performs a number of functions which are described below. The place where the Olympics will be organized is decided by this committee. The right to decide the days on which the games will be held also rests with this committee. For conducting the competition and general programs for the Olympics, fundamental rules and regulations are set up by this committee. It also encourages and supports the promotion of ethics in sports as well as education of youth through sports. It also ensures the regular conduct of the Olympic Games. It takes action in order to strengthen the unity and to protect the independence of the Olympic movement. It also acts against any form of discrimination affecting the Olympic movement. It encourages and supports the promotion of women in sports at all levels. It leads the fight against doping in sports. It encourages the development of sports for all. It opposes any political or commercial abuse of sports and athletes. So these are the main 10 points, uh, that main functions of the IOC. Indian Olympic Association. Now let us see our Indian Olympic Association. It was established in 1927. Sir Dorabji Jamshedji Tata and Dr. Norin became the founder, president, and secretary general, respectively, of Indian Olympic Association. So, the founder president, Sir Dorabji Jamshedji Tata, and secretary general is Norin. Norin became the secretary general. IOA is affiliated to the IOC. So Indian Olympic Association is affiliated to International Olympic Committee. Sir Dorabji Tata was also elected the first IOC member in India. In 1928, Sir Dorabji Jamshedji Tata resigned from the post of president of IOA in 1928. After that, Maharaja Bhupender Singh became the president of IOA. In the Olympic Games of 1928, just remember 1928, which were held in Amsterdam, the Indian hockey team was sent to Olympics. The Indian hockey team, which participated first time in Olympic Games, won a gold medal. The election of the office bearers of the IOA is held after every 4 years. The council consists of various members like president, 9 vice presidents. In Indian Olympic Association, there are total 9 vice presidents, 6 joint secretaries, 1 secretary general, 1 honorary, treasurer, 7 representatives of state Olympic associations, 12 representatives of national sports federations or associations. Now, the objectives of Indian Olympic Association. First objective is development and promotion of the Olympic movement. Second is enforcement of all rules and regulations of the IOC and IOA. Third is to be the official organization in complete form and responsible for of all the matters related to Olympic event. Promotion and encouragement of the physical, moral, and cultural education of the young people of the nation so that their character can be developed. Admitting the membership of the State Olympic Association and National Sports Federation, for which submission of their annual reports and audited statement of accounts as necessary. These documents should be deposited to the IOA for information. To undertake with assistance of national sports federations, The financial management, transportation, maintenance, and welfare of teams from India taking part in the Olympic Games and other games which are organized under the patronage of IOC. To take disciplinary action against any federation for misbehavior or any other undesirable activity bringing discredit to the country. In cooperation with the National Sports Federation or Association, organize and control selection, training, coaching of the teams that will represent India. To enforce and defend the exclusive rights of the association to use the Olympic flag and Olympic insignia. So this these are the 9 points in which we saw the Indian Olympic Association, what exactly they do, okay, what objectives they have. Of the same way we have gone through, we'll just have a glance the major points you should remember. Olympic symbol, there are total how many rings? 5 rings. Okay, represents 5 continents. Okay, and different colors. But the colors, we cannot say that colors are representing the continents, but the rings definitely. Okay, and who designed this? Okay, Coubertin only. So the emblem, Citius, Altius, Fortius means faster, higher, and stronger. Then Olympic ideal, most important thing is not victory but the struggle. Okay, in our life, what is the most important thing? Not the triumph or not the victory, but the struggle. Then there are several objectives which we discussed. Okay, like to pay attention towards physical education and sports competitions. Then to develop personality, character, citizenship qualities, and health among the students. The major things we should remember. Okay, and no discrimination. Okay, develop patriotism among the people, and international fraternity and peace. These were things which we discussed. Development of values through Olympism. There are 4 things: friendship, solidarity, fair play, free from discrimination. Though there were some issues, okay, we have gone through, but then also these are the values which this IOC wants to develop among the students through Olympism: friendship, solidarity, fair play, free from discrimination. Then IOC, when it got formed, that we saw, and that is in 1894, 23rd June. Okay, uh, the first president, Demetrios Vikelas. Okay, so he was the first president of this IOC. Okay, 105 active members, 32 honorary members. These are things, and some of the decisions like Winter Olympic Games, uh, when the IOC got changed, what they did, 11 years between summer Olympic and winter. So for the planning purpose, they did that. Some of the changes they did. Okay, members of the committee. There are like 8 years term is there for the president. Okay, and Mr. Thomas is the president, the current IOC president. Vice presidents, there are 4 vice presidents. If we see IOA, that is Indian Olympic Association, there are total 9 vice presidents. So there are differences you people should remember of IOC and of IOA. Okay, about the executive board, we saw main functions of IOC. We have gone through this. Okay, to organize the Olympics. Okay, to decide the place, then to set up the rules regulations for the competitors, how to promote the games. Okay, to act against any kind of discrimination, to strengthen the unity, to support and promote the women sports. Okay, any kind of doping, they are against it, and development of sports for all everyone. Any kind of political or commercial abuse they do not tolerate. So these are the main functions of IOC. uh, the same is here in Indian Olympic Association. Sir Dorabji Jamshedji Tata, okay, he was the founder president of IOA, and Noren was the founder secretary general. of IOA. That is, IOA is affiliated to IOC. So whatever the guidelines from IOC, IOA has to follow. Okay. After in 1928, like when he resigned, Sir Dorabji Jamshedji Tata resigned. After him, Maharaja Bhupinder Singh became the president, and in 1928, in the Olympics in Amsterdam, that was a very glorious, uh, historical day for our Indian people. That Indian hockey team won the gold medal in Olympics. So in 1928. Now the council president, 9 vice presidents, 6 joint secretaries. Okay, this much we saw. And same way the objectives. Okay, enforcement of rules and regulations of the IOC and IOA. In India, there is State Olympic Association also, and that State Olympic Association is affiliated to IOA. IOA is affiliated to IOC. We should remember this. Okay, so thank you very much, and just go through these 4 classes, the audio, visual classes, online classes with, and if you have any difficulty, please refer the book. Okay, and let me know if you have any doubt. Let me know. We'll start the 3rd chapter. Before that, we'll have test. Okay, one test will be conducted, and the Google form will be sent. That link will be sent to you people, and very soon we'll have test. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much.